The 2020 domestic football season is about to come to a close, but fear not, football lovers, as the international game is about to crank up a notch with the return of the UEFA Nations League. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're going to take a look at the Nations League Group A Part 2, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Nations League related, world football related. That's right, boys and girls, we are here to take a grand look at the Nations League Group A Section 2. That's England's group, boys and girls. How will they get on? Will they come out on top, or will they suffer defeat or relegation? That's what's on the table. We'll get to all that in just a second. I want a big shout out to the Patreons for supporting the channel the way that they do. Now, if you are interested in just joining that illustrious VIP gang, there is a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. But other than that, you can support the channel by smashing the subscribe. Let's get into it and take a little look at, of course, Group A, Section B, grand predictions. Let's go. So here I am, smack dab in the middle. Let's take a look at the nations then. Of course, England are in this group. They are managed, as of recording, by Gareth Southgate. They play their football predominantly at Wembley Stadium. Occasionally, they'll dabble around a bit. The captain is Harry Kane. Of course, the most capped player, though, is Peter Shilton, the goalkeeper. Of course, the top goal scorer is Wayne Rooney, who plays for Derby FC. Wayne Rooney FC. They're currently ranked 4th in the world. Goodness gracious me. Their highest ever rank, though, was 3rd back in 2012. Their lowest rank was 27 in 1996. Surely that was prior to the 1996 Euros. I think it's because they didn't play many international games that mattered. But anyway, moving forward, joining them will be Belgium. That's right, managed by Roberto Martinez. Of course, made his name out in England, playing for the likes of Swansea, Wigan, all those kinds of jazz, and also managing Everton and whoever else, Wigan, Swansea as well. He's been there, seen it and done it, and now he's trying to do it with Belgium. They play their football on various grounds across the nation, the glorious nation of Belgium. Their captain is Eden Hazard. Most capped player is Jan Vertonghen. Will he still be playing? I don't know. The top goal scorer is Romelu Lukaku. I'm sure he's going to add more goals to his tally with 52. They're currently ranked number 1 in the world, which is their highest ever ranking. The lowest point in the Belgian football was back in 2007, where they reached a low time of 71 in the world. Joining them in this group will be Iceland, of course, everyone's favourite second team, managed by Erik Harman. They find themselves in Group A. Yeah, that's right. That's how far the football has come with Iceland at the moment. They play their football at they're captained by Aron Gunnarsson. Most capped player is Rune Christiansen, who's got 104 caps to his name. Ida Gudjonsson, I think there was another guy. Both have 26 goals to their name, and they're currently ranked 39th in the world. They once were the glorious 18th in the world. That was back in 2018 after their remarkable run to the World Cup and all that kind of jazz. Lowest ranking was 131. That was back in 2012. But things have changed for Iceland. They're on the map. They're on the football map, and they'll be joined by their fellow Scandinavians. It'll be Denmark. Kasper Hultman manages them these days. Parken Stadium is where they play their football. They have the Capitano is Simon Kajar. Most cap player is Schmeichel. Not that one, but it's his dad, Peter. He's 129 caps to his name. Paul Nielsen has 52 goals, who is the top goal scorer, and they currently rank 16th in the world. They were also at the dizzy heights of number 3 back in 1997. Their lowest rank was 2017. In 2017 they were ranked as low as 51. That ranking of highest 3 was when they won the Euros in 1996. So, yeah, there we go. Bit of factoid there for you. So, let's get in. So let's get into it then. Of course, this is the grand master plan, all the games that are going to take place for this Group A, Section 2. And at the end of it, we'll see who will go through to the knockout stages to take on the fellow Group A winners. And of course, who will be in the number 4 spot, the dreaded spot, and be relegated to Nations League B. So we're going to take a look at them then, shall we? We're going to start with, of course, the games that are going to take place on the 5th of September. We're going to do each and every match day on the channel, and we'll come back for that whenever those come around. So make sure you stick around for that. And the best way to do that is, of course, smashing the old subscribe button. That's right. Down there, as you can see, the little animation going off like nuts. Smash your subscribe, smash the little bell. So, what's going to happen between Iceland and England? Well, it's going to be a tricky old game, of course, but I do fancy England to be the stronger of these two nations throughout this tournament, and especially up against Iceland. I think England realistically are going to be duking it out with Belgium for top honours, and Iceland and Denmark will be duking it out to avoid that relegation spot. So I think it's an opening day victory for England, an opening day defeat for Iceland. Same could be said for the next game. massive game for both things. I think Denmark will not want to lose it. And the same could be said for Belgium if they were to pick up a result, which I've got here as a 1-1 draw. I think at the two sides, Denmark will be happier than Belgium on this one. So yeah, an opening day victory is for England and a draw for Denmark and Belgium to already open up a conservative lead for England on the top of this group. Next up on the same month, it'll be the 8th of September. Belgium will take on Iceland at home, and this will be a comfortable one-sided victory as well, 3-0 in. It could be more than that though, as I think the vastness in quality between Belgium and Iceland is huge. Iceland do have, when the chips are down and the back's up against the wall, they will deliver. But if they get caught in a bit of in a corner with the lights out and all that kind of jazz, then Belgium are going to run riot. Anyway, Denmark will take on England on the same match day, give or take. And I'm going with a 2-1 away for England as well. Back-to-back away victories for them. So they'll start fantastically with 6 points out of 6. Belgium making up the numbers as well with 4 points out of 6 as well, with Denmark and Iceland starting to struggle already. Next up, into the month of October we go. England will take on Belgium in the mouth-watering, one of two mouth-watering clashes. Of course, the other one will be over in Belgium. And England will come out on top again to make it 3 wins on the spin, 2-1 in the end. It'll be tight. It'll be nervy. There'll be a lot on the line for this one. But ultimately, I think Gareth Southgate's boys, previously there has been a so-called golden generation for England that didn't really rise so much. I think these days, there's a lot more talent at the disposal of Gareth Southgate and co. Yes, like before, back in the 90s when it was Steven Gerrard, Lampard, the squad kind of wrote itself a little bit. Whereas these days, I think there's much more options, much more availability for England, and they're not going to be relying on the same 22. Look at the goalkeeping situation. There's 5 or 6 goalkeepers that could probably compete for at least a spot within the squad. Same could be said for left back. Same could be said for central midfield. There are a lot of players that are scrambling to be the best of England's squad. So I do think they'll have the cream of the crop, and I think they'll rise to the top on this one, especially against Belgium, 2-1 in the end. Big game for Iceland on the same match day on the 11th of the 10th. Win for either side would give them a good old reboot, but I can't see it. I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw. I think Denmark will be the happier with the point. Iceland, realistically, they need to be winning that game. I just don't think they will. And again, just like in previous groups, I think some nations are out of their depth in regards to playing at the top level, and this is supposed to be the top level in UEFA Nations League. With this, we see it yesterday with the Dutch and the Italians and a couple of little make weights as well. I think Iceland are battling above their station, but anyway, they're there for on merit as it stands, but it could only be for this year only before, in the top level. Anyway, I'm rambling. England will take on Denmark, of course, in the next one. That will be on the 14th of October, and again another victory for England and a clean sheet to boot. Meanwhile, Iceland will struggle at home against Belgium because Belgium are powerhouses, and I do expect them to be competing with England all the way to the final whistle. And then next up, it is that mouth-watering rematch on the 15th of November. It will be Belgium on England. Unfortunately, England will lose this one, and Belgium will come out on top with a 3-1 win over in Belgium. I don't know where they're going to play. And then also on the same match day, must-win game for both of these two sides to avoid that relegation spot. And I think the Danes will take it 2-0 in the end. Final match day sees Belgium up against Denmark and a comfortable win to boot as well. Belgium coming out on top with a 4-0 win over the Danes. Meanwhile, England will take on Iceland. Also, much riding on this one. I think a win for Iceland puts them back in control of their own destiny. Does it? I think Denmark might have a couple more points already, but I still see a 4-0 win for England regardless of what was on the stake for Iceland. So ultimately, as you'd expect, Iceland will struggle in this one with just the 1 point. That was a draw against the Danes. Then it'll be Denmark in third with 1 win, 2 draws and 3 defeats, 5 points on the board. And then, as you can tell, probably if you're quick on the draw with your maths and your calculators and all that kind of jazz, you'll realise Belgium are not going to get good enough. 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, 13 points, clearly in second place by a country mile. But unfortunately, England will pip them 5 wins and 1 defeat. 2 points snatches it with a goal difference of 9. 15 points on the board. That's it. I'm calling it. I'm calling England to squeeze out on top, to go through to the knockout stages, to take on the winners of Group 1, Group 3 and Group 4 in a little knockout tournament. Of course, in my eyes, Iceland are going to go down to Group B for the next Nations League whenever that comes around. So that, my friends, is what I think will happen in the Nations League Group A Section 2. What do you guys think? Be sure to get your own predictions in nice and early. First to fourth and all that kind of jazz. We will be doing each and every match day as they come around, and over the next few days days, we'll be doing each and every one of the groups, every section, all the way through to San Marino and the gang. That's right. So that's it. Be sure to give this video some love. Smash that thumbs up. If you are new, smash the subscribe and also hit the little bell so you don't miss a beat, boys. You don't miss a beat. And if you want to go that extra furlong, that's right, check out the description. There is a link to the Patreon where you can support the channel in another way. We'll become besties for life. That's right. You can come over to my house, Thanksgiving and all that kind of jazz whenever we move to a bigger house. The doors will be open. You'll lay on a nice spread, turkey and all that kind of sheningle and all that jazz. You just have to pay for your own air flights. That's all. But get yourselves over there. Get in there. We'll sort you out. Anyway, that's it, boys and girls. Until then, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up and all that kind of jazz. Tomorrow, it's Nations League Group A, Section 3. Until then, out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.